Proceed to a round of comments from, I was going to say a limited sample, but that doesn't sound right, so I'll say a small sample of individuals who have found themselves in Lou's orbit. I know that there are dozens, if not hundreds of you who wish to speak, and to whom I can only ask forgiveness. We're still collecting comments for Lou, as Helen mentioned, here and at the website, so please don't hold back. It's an honor to start and welcome Governor Lynch and First Lady Susan Lynch and ask him to lead off. Governor, you're on. Notice the slight limp, but...
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you very much. Now, Senator Janeway had initially asked that I read verbatim the recently adopted state budget. But I decided that probably was not appropriate. Susan and I are delighted to be here to honor Lou Feldstein. Not only has Lou been a wonderful steward of the Charitable Foundation, but he has given so much of himself to advance important public policy issues here in New Hampshire, be they transportation, energy, education, environment, corrections, technology, and most recently his involvement in the Expanded Gambling Commission. In every one, he has made a huge contribution and a big difference to the outcome of those commissions. You know, if I could describe Lou with one quality, and he has many admirable qualities, I would call him and describe him as someone who is open-minded. And I've always felt Lou is such a person. He's somebody who will listen to different points of view, look at the data, look at the analysis, and come back and give his very best advice, like he's done for me since I've been governor. Lou, you've made a huge difference to the people of New Hampshire. Because of you, our New Hampshire is a better state. Thank you, Lou, for all that you have done. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, Governor. I will now introduce the remaining speakers and ask that you, again, hold your applause until the end of this set. In the interest of time, we figured that the applause could actually last longer than the speeches, and we'd got more to say. First up is Kimon Zachos, followed by his wife, Anne. Anne will be followed by 5 others in this order: Gary Hirschberg, Julie Eads, Joe McQuaid, Martin Gross, and Bonnie Newman. So I'm going to start out with a question for Kimon. Kimon was the board chair and head of the selection committee. There at the creation, you might say. I have one question. As some of you know, Lou has long subscribed to Thoreau's dictum, whether he knew it or not, which was, beware of all enterprises that require new clothes. So, if it wasn't the clothes or the Groucho Marx mustache, what was it? Whatever it was, we thank you for your wise choice. Kimon.
Thank you, Harold. Many moons ago, Sil Dupuy, Buzz Harrington, and I sat in a conference room in my office where we'd been interviewing candidates for the presidency of the New Hampshire Charitable Fund, which is what it was called at that time. After many interviews, we reached a consensus and recommended a guy named Lou Feldstein. No one this side of Temple Mountain knew him or knew anything about him. However, he came very highly recommended from those folks on the other side of Temple Mountain, particularly by David Putnam, who had been the chair of the New Hampshire Charitable Fund. Lou had a pretty wide-ranging resume. From academic involvement in the field of leadership development, in being the MC for the famous Monadnock Zucchini Festival, personal involvement in civil rights movement with a hint of civil disobedience, a confirmed Democrat who had been an aide to Republican Mayor John Lindsay, who at that time was a rising star in national politics. And finally, not to be overlooked, general factotum for Hollywood actor John Wayne on his yacht. Now, the trustees of the fund had decided to enlarge the mission. They wanted to find someone who would lead the charge, one, to expand its traditional grant activities, two, increase charitable giving by individuals at all economic levels, and three, develop a public-private partnership that would marshal support from private individuals and the state of New Hampshire for public policy issues such as the environment, education, and other. Which Lou would we get? John Lindsay or John Wayne? We thought about it and decided to try for both. Lou might be a little quirky by New Hampshire standards, but he was smart, imaginative, and confident, so we offered him the job. 24 years later, all of us bask in the light of his leadership and the fabulous development to which he has guided the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. Thank you, Lou.
When Kimon came home from the search committee meeting and he declared triumphantly that the committee had made a choice, of course he wouldn't tell me who it was, but I wore him down, probably not a surprise, until he finally told me it was Lou. Lou who, I asked. That was absolutely the last time I ever referred to Lou as Lou who. Lou the energetic, Lou the imaginative, Lou the human dynamo, Lou the one-of-a-kind, Lou the synthesizer, Lou the magnificent. Tonight I am challenged to find the exact descriptive word, and so that I would say, in my book, Lou is Lou the extraordinary, bar none, whom Kimon and I feel honored to count among our friends.
Thank you, Anne.